Hi, I'm Jen. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'm interviewing Mars. Mars, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
And I'm so excited to see your tattoo and how it's gonna look.
I heavily anticipate how my tattoo is going to look as well.
Maybe tell us about the inspiration for your tattoo today.
Like, my whole vibe and my whole aesthetic as far as tattooing goes is like very nature inspired. I do a lot of like insects and plants and bones and junk, and my whole admiration for that I think kind of started in like it was either like 6th or 7th grade, like biology class. My biology teacher had like jars upon jars of wet specimens.
Whoa.
And because of those wet specimens, I was able to like get a much closer look at some really cool things that like I had never seen before and like really admire them. And that's kind of where my whole obsession with like funky little bugs and nature junk started, you know. So I mean, well, I guess I should say what I'm tattooing. I'm tattooing a little wet specimen of an octopus tentacle. It kind of is symbolic of like the roots of the inspiration of my style of tattooing. Not the roots of my tattooing, I should say. The roots of like the inspiration for my tattooing that was the wet specimens in my biology class. And being able to like get that like close look of the detail of things like an axolotl or like weird shit from the bottom of the ocean. I'm allowed to say shit.
Totally.
Really cool.
Wow, oh my gosh. I'm so excited to hear that you had such an awesome biology class.
She was pretty cool. Her name was Miss Ross.
Oh,
She was sweet.
Are you from Austin? Is Miss Ross from Austin?
Miss Ross is from Iowa, Kansas.
Woo!
It's like a little town in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. I'm not from Austin. I've lived here for like coming up on like, and maybe it has already been 2 years. I don't know. Time moves really fucking fast here. Mm-hmm. But I moved here when I was 17, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you mind sharing your current age?
I'm 19.
19.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Wow. How cool. Wow.
It's been really awesome tattooing here in Austin.
Do you make a lot of your income from tattooing?
It's kind of been coming. Like there are months that are a lot better than others. Like this month, I haven't really been focusing on tattooing because my boyfriend's back in town. He goes to college in Rhode Island.
Okay.
And yeah, I've kind of just been hanging out with him. I work at Juiceland, you know.
Right.
But I'm working on some new Flash, and I think next month is gonna be pretty banging tattoo wise. But yeah, it comes and goes. Sometimes I'll ask for like large amounts of time off of work so I can like really buckle down on some tattoo appointments. But and I'm definitely like am aspiring to get to a place where like I can pay my bills and like rent and all that jazz with like solely with tattooing. Like we're just not quite there yet.
Right on. So amazing. I'm like so impressed that you moved here by yourself at 17.
I wasn't all by myself.
Oh, okay.
There was this guy who was really good friends with my father back in our hometown in Iowa. They were in a little band together. It was really cute. Basically, this guy who used to be in a band with my dad back in this small town, right?
Okay.
His name was Danny.
Okay.
He has a wife, Becky. They're lovely. We love them. He saw my tattoos and he was like, come to Austin and be a successful artist because I wasn't getting anywhere in my small ass town. And yeah, so he let me stay at his place for like 3 months while I like got enough money to like put the deposit down on an apartment, you know, and like get started here in Austin, which was really awesome of him. I didn't plan to move to Austin at all. Okay. Like it was kind of just like an opportunity to get out of my small town, and I was like, but I think it was like perfect. Like, couldn't have picked a better place myself.
Awesome. Okay. That's cool. I also kind of didn't purposely move here.
Really?
Yeah, I was originally only going to be here for 3 months. Both my parents had like minor surgeries in March of 2020. Mm-hmm. And the previous fall, a friend of mine died. like suddenly, and it kind of made me go, well, you know, life is short. What would I regret not pursuing?
Mm-hmm.
And that was living next to the beach. I've always wanted to live next to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to move here for 3 months on my way out west and help my folks out. And then COVID hit, and, you know, living next to the fam was really nice. And my youngest niece graduates high school in 2026, so I'm here till then.
Word!
Yeah.
I want to dip out of the US at some point. I don't like it here very much.
Oh, it's wild. Like, I traveled around the world for the first time in 2017, and it was so wonderful. It was so life affirming because what I've always known inside, like instinctually, that there are good people and bad people everywhere. It's just up to you to go find your good people. And like that totally happened in all these beautiful places that I was surrounded. Like I love nature too, and got to go see all this beautiful, beautiful nature.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it was really nice. And seeing how like other cultures live, and like when I was in Tokyo, that was the first time I'd ever been like completely surrounded by people who didn't speak English. In Switzerland, I wanted to see what it was like to be in a society that hadn't been to war for so long. And I'll tell you, their parks are so beautiful. Like, they have national holidays just to go outside and enjoy nature.
That is so sweet. What the hell?
Right? Oh, man. Yeah.
We need some nature holidays here.
Totally.
Do you have any tattoos?
I don't. Not yet.
I believe I asked you that.
I mean, I had always wanted one,
Yeah.
but I never wanted the same thing long enough to.
And that's fair. I get that.
I had like this whole part-time career for a long time where tattoos would have kept me from getting jobs. It's a different world now where tattoos get you jobs.
Yeah.
I guess the closest I ever got to getting one was when I was married. I wanted us to get tattoo wedding rings instead of metal wedding rings.
And you said was. You said was, so holy crap. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wow. You know what? For a wedding ring tattoo, that's fairly wise. Anyways, lots of little teenagers like to come to me and ask me for like couple tattoos, and I would always I would always turn them down and shoot the boy. No. But I really don't have room to talk anymore because I've been teaching my current boyfriend how to tattoo. He's really good. He's really quite good, and he has like, I believe, 28 tattoos for me now.
Wow.
I have only 5. He needs to catch up. In fact, I'm gonna make him tattoo me after this because he better. I like need more ink. He gave me a tramp stamp in his dorm room. Yeah, it's wild stuff.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea how quiet tattoo machines are. Like,
Well,
I can see how, like, you could do this in a dorm room and no one would ever
And
know.
I was gonna say this is a very nice electric freaking like what's the word? It's like a battery powered like pen style machine. It's not a rotary machine. Rotary machines. I don't know if you've ever been in a tattoo shop, like a trad shop, while someone's getting a tattoo, but it's like
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, like so long ago, I went with a friend.
It's intimidating. That environment is spooky. I don't like it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and especially when it's, because I went into a tattoo and piercing place while my friend was getting a piercing. And I was just like, I don't want to be hurt today.
Wow. None of my tattoos or piercings
Are professionally done. I really don't like going to people who like work in a shop
Oh.
or like. Well, my stepmom did all my piercings.
I mean, you're a professional.
No,
No?
no. I'm completely unprofessional. Like, the government does not know about what is happening in this room today. or ever. And
Okay.
yeah, yeah, unlicensed. And all my, like, okay, so, like, can I go on a little spiel?
Yeah.
So, like, one of my biggest motivations for, like, committing to coming here to Austin is that there are very, very many unlicensed, unprofessional tattooers who, like,
Might as well be. Like, they do a good job. They have their technique down. They sterilize all their equipment. Like, it's a very, like, professional environment and go about it.
Sure.
They just do it out of their apartments because, you know, it takes the whole, like, process of, like, going through an apprenticeship, paying the money, you know, giving your time needed to, like, actually be able to hold a machine in the shop, unless you have, like, a really good deal or, like, a really good relationship with somebody who's already in it, like an in, you know,
Yeah.
it can be quite difficult and really taxing. And there's a lot of really toxic masculinity in the tattoo industry. A lot of cis heterosexual men who will, like, just not be cool to people.
That sucks.
Yeah, and like I've talked to a lot of self-taught people who have, like, tried the apprenticeship thing, and they just, like, they paid money for it. Like, nowadays, like, most of the time you're gonna be, like, paying to clean toilets in tattoo shops and, like, maybe watch from a distance as they tattoo somebody. Like,
Whoa.
you don't get any, like, technical skills from a lot of, and that's not every apprenticeship, but I've just witnessed so much of that. And so people have asked me, like, oh, like, why don't you go work in a shop? Because if I really wanted to, I do think I could. Like, if I put my mind to it.
but I think at this point in my life, I don't really want a straight man trying to tell me how to do what I do. I just don't think that's what I need right now.
I hear that.
Yeah. And it's, I also think that, like
As I previously stated, like, professional tattoo environments,
they can be quite intimidating.
Yeah.
And people who come to me for tattoos, right?
they're my people. They're the people who I want to be tattooing. And that is, like, neurodivergent queer people who do feel really intimidated and uncomfortable going into a space that is, like, very, like, dominated by straight men, very masculine, very loud, very just spooky, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
In my little apartment with all my cute little posters, you
Yes,
know, it's
yes.
like, it's pretty nice. I like it a lot. I would definitely like to get tattooed there.
Yeah.
And my friends seem to as well, which is really cool.
That is really fun. Yeah, it's I've heard that before about, like, the tattoo industry.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the first time I heard it, I was really shocked because, like, tattooing has always been, like, the alternative way to, like, the alternative lifestyle. At least, like, of my generation, tattoos were for people who, like, thought outside the box. So you would think that they would be open to more types of people.
and there are definitely, like, really cool professional tattooers. Like, there are people in the industry that I really look up to. You know, they're mostly female, mostly girl artists. But yeah, it's not everyone when I say like that. But it's just like if you go to the fucking tattoo like the studios on 6th Street, you'll know what I'm talking about. Just like walking into them, you know, like.
Yeah, and then, like, thinking about it, though, it's like that biker culture of that kind of thing.
Literally, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like,
I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that that's what tattoos were for so long. It was like that. I guess in a lot of sense they still are. That is the.
that's a really good connection to make. The biker culture with the fucking tattoo industry.
Yeah, it's very much like that.
Yeah. I noticed your your roots on your shoulder. That's really cool.
Oh my gosh. And so this was done very recently by a really good friend of mine named Kira, who's just started picking up tattoo machines and just getting into it. Like, they're a newbie. And, like, it's really cool because, like, I didn't teach anyone how to tattoo, and I don't claim to, like, teach anyone because, to be completely honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. I completely pull, like, all my techniques, everything I do. Like, if I were to get an apprenticeship, that would need to be broken down. Like, people don't like to apprentice self-taught tattoo artists because like their techniques are mostly their own. Like I took some things from the internet. Like I know how to pull a solid line and stuff like that. And I know how to do like whip shading. But lots of friends have come to me and like said they wanted to get into tattooing, and I have a lot of stupid tattoos because I started tattooing myself when I was 15. So like I have a baby angel smoking a bong,
Yes!
and, like a one-way ticket to hell, and like a cruddy little pot leaf. And so I've really come to like be okay with having like kind of crappily done tattoos, as long as it's something cool, and as long as I know that it was like this tattoo. There's some like wavy lines, and there's some like lines that aren't completed all the way, but like I know that this tattoo was like a step up for Kira and like a learning experience for Kira. She learned how to tattoo in doing this, and that's just like so beautiful to me, you know? So that's why I don't get professional tattoos. I only let self-taught artists tattoo me. So like I can have their work on me for the rest of my life. And also like every tattoo that a self-taught tattoo artist does, that is like a learning step for them. They are growing as an artist when they do that. When you walk into a tattoo studio on 6th Street and get something off the wall, it's something that's been done a million times. They know what they're doing. They know how to do it. It's like robotic to them. You know, this is like growth for an artist on my arm right here. All my tattoos on my arm, on this arm, they were done by my roommate.
Wow.
Yeah, my roommate's also a self-taught tattoo artist. They also did the one on my neck. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's wild for you to say that. Like that. Like it's not perfect or whatever, because looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's perfect.
No, they did a fantastic job. It's so amazing. But like as I'm like trying, because it's not done. We're gonna do a second session, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna do some shading. We're gonna touch up some lines. But like, I try to be real with them and let them know like where the lines could improve a little bit, and like you know where they could like use shading could improve and stuff. It's really cool. I have another friend named Alora. They are Pulling Teeth on Instagram, and they have just skyrocketed. They are doing amazing. They do stick and pokes, but I let Alora do their first machine tattoo on me, and it's really silly. I don't know if you can see it. It's this little spider right here. It's a pretty funky little guy.
Oh my gosh,
He has some wavy little legs. Yeah. Like the lines are definitely not solid, but like it's just so special to me because I know that Alora is gonna like be an amazing artist and is just gonna go so far with tattooing and is gonna do so many incredible things. And I am going to get to walk around for the rest of my life and say, I have the first machine tattoo that Pulling Teeth ever did. And that's just so awesome. That is like so cool.
It is so awesome. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I love it. I'm so impressed. Well, one, you're so generous. With your body and with everything. That's really amazing. And two, that you're like just willing to like take a chance with like,
oh, of course.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
It makes it more fun. It's so much more of like a human experience that way, I feel, than walking into a shop and having some stranger tattoo you.
Sure.
Like, when you're like kind of instructing the person who's tattooing you on how to pull like a more steady line, it's so funny. Like it's great.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess if I was really into something that was mainstream, I could think about getting like a standard tattoo. Like if I was really into a sport, like a professional sports team or something, to get a mainstream tattoo, then that might be something, but I'm not.
Do you just shy away from getting sentimental things?
That's interesting.
Do you just like, because tattoos don't have to have meaning. My tattoos just look fucking cool. This just looks fucking cool.
It does
like,
look cool.
And like things that make me happy and things that like spark joy. My most meaningful tattoo. Have you ever read The Little Prince?
Oh. I don't know. Maybe
it's about a little boy from outer space who like lives on a planet all by himself with a rose.
Oh my gosh, no, I have not.
It's a beautiful book.
Okay.
And basically the book is like it's from the perspective, like the guy who's like talking in the book is this pilot who like crash landed in the desert, and he like came across the Little Prince who was like very far away from home, and back on his planet. I'm not gonna get into that, but anyways. The Little Prince wants the pilot to draw him a sheep, and he like draws him like several sheeps, but like they're not quite right? Like one's too skinny, one looks sick, and one they just aren't right. And so the pilot draws this box with 3 holes in it. I have it tattooed right here. And he says, the sheep that you want is inside this box. And the little prince loves it. He's very satisfied with this little drawing of a sheep. And when I first got my tattoo machine, my dad got me my tattoo machine for my 15th birthday. And I was not supposed to use it on myself. He got me a bunch of practice skin. But like when you give a mouse a cookie, like come on, man. And so I was tattooing myself on my upper thighs where my underwear was, so my parents couldn't see them when I was like walking around the house and stuff. And I like worked my way down gradually. And I would always come to my dad with tattoo designs that I wanted to place on parts of my bodies that were visible. And he would always shut it down for one reason or the other. And I got the box from the Little Prince because it was like, the tattoo that you want me to have is inside this little box. And he loves it. It's very sweet. And
your dad sounds pretty dope.
he's a pretty cool guy. He's really interesting, yeah. I like him a lot. He's really awesome. He's always been very supportive of my art.
That's fantastic.
He let me move to Austin when I was 17.
I'm actually going to visit them very soon.
Okay.
I'm very excited. It's been a really long time.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So were you always like an artist before you started tattooing?
Oh yeah. Before I did well, I always like have been a little bit of an illustrator, but before I did actual tattoos, and what made my dad get the idea to like give me a tattoo machine and dip my toe in that was I used to like do henna tattoos as like a 15-year-old, like a lot. Like I was obsessed with it. I had a whole Instagram page like dedicated to henna.
Okay.
I would take my little henna cones to school with me, and I would like give people henna tattoos during lunch and like recess and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I was quite good at it for my age.
Yeah.
And like kind of just teaching myself how to do it. So my dad saw that and was like,
You should try actual tattooing, because I think he always knew that like, and he definitely wanted me to try it as like a career, I think, because he knew that like something typical, something ordinary, something non-artistic wouldn't work for me. And it's true, like.
Wow, what a gift.
Yeah, I know.
That's fantastic.
It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stuff.
I guess I think it's more about the permanence. Like I've never really been good at thinking about things permanently.
Your body isn't permanent.
No, absolutely.
Your body is very ephemeral, and I think that like it's kind of like if everything were to fall to bits and pieces like right now, fall apart around us, like our body's kind of the only thing we have. So like I really like to decorate mine for that reason. I think I really like to like just like, and also it's just I think it's a lot easier for me to kind of like just throw away the whole, because anybody I talk to who's like a little like hesitant about getting tattoos or doesn't have any, it's always like the permanence. It's always like committing to one idea and wanting to love that idea forever. But like I think my tattoos, there's lots of them that like I wouldn't get today. Like so many, like probably a good half, honestly.
Okay.
But like it's like a little time capsule. It's like an era of my life, and it reminds me of the mindset I was in when I was like, yes, this is the shit. Like I want to put this on my body forever. And I think that's really sweet because it really shows my growth as like a person.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, yeah, you're definitely one of the coolest people I've met.
Aw, that's so sweet of you.
Do you have a favorite place to get tacos in Austin?
Trippy Tacos.
Trippy?
Trippy Tacos.
Trippy.
It's this lovely little food truck, and I think there's 2 of them. And there's one right down the street from my Juice Land. I love it so much. There's just so many fucking awesome places to get tacos. It really depends on what mood you're in, because I will go to Torchy's, but Trippy Tacos never fails to just like hit. Like it's so. What about you? What's your favorite taco place?
Well, I know it's not cool to say this, but I love Velvet Tacos. I've only been once, and it was amazing.
Well, that's fair. I don't think I've gone, but I have heard good things.
Okay, but I also love Taco Deli. Oh my gosh.
Taco Deli.
Yeah.
Solid.
So good.
I don't eat meat personally.
Yeah, I don't either.
Really?
Okay.
And you like Taco Deli?
Well, they've got 2 vegan options.
See, I tried them. I was not.
Oh, you're into it. See, that's why I asked
I
to
wasn't
like
into it.
know if there's
No.
other
So Trippy Tacos, it's really great if
Okay.
you're so are you vegan or vegetarian?
vegan and then plus egg whites.
So I'm vegetarian, so I eat cheese and eggs, so it's quite
Okay.
easier for me. Because like what I do when I go to Trippy Tacos is I get the migas taco and I
Okay.
add beans and avocado, and it's like so good.
Oh my
It's so good.
Yes.
So only egg whites, not the
Egg
yolk.
whites. Yeah, no, because yes, no yolk. I have to watch my cholesterol.
Oh, I see.
And occasionally I'll have some chicken, like if they're like, you know, we're in Texas. Sometimes it's hard to.
Yeah,
vegan.
it can. Yeah.
So yeah, chicken and egg whites, but
Word.
mostly like I'm on the tofu train, on the tempeh train.
I'll have to try Taco Deli again. Maybe I just caught them on a bad day, you know?
I mean, also like I think that so they have two that are always vegan, the Papa Dulce and the Freaking Vegan. And the Freaking Vegan is like
The freaking vegan is good.
Okay. So
I
I
like
feel like that one's like boring vegan.
Fair. Maybe I'm just a basic bitch. Maybe that's the problem.
But the Papa Dulce, I'm like, what is this? What they do to these sweet potatoes? They're
No,
amazing.
it's true. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
The Trippy Tacos has chilaquiles. I'm probably not pronouncing that right.
Oh, that
What
is,
it is?
but that's
It's like they take tortilla strips and they basically like fry them a little, probably, and they like put a bunch of seasonings on it and they're like spicy and it's like all nice. You get at Trippy Tacos, you can get the chilaquiles and you can put like black beans and like I put obviously like cheese and like lettuce and stuff like that. Like I can go on and on about tacos, man. Like,
Love it. Oh, so you eat dairy? You have dairy?
Yes, and I shouldn't because she's not nice to me. Like, I need to get an allergy test. I definitely have a dairy intolerance or something.
Yeah.
Like,
but
yeah,
I do.
mean, that's kind of how I started.
I just love cheese, man.
Okay.
Feta cheese. I think that would be the hardest cheese to say goodbye to. Like, I don't do milk unless it's like
What about ice cream?
if it's vegan, it's better.
Okay.
Like I'll eat ice cream, but like Nadamu
okay.
here in Austin,
Yeah.
so yum, so good. I love like vegan milkshakes and stuff. Oat milk is just superior to like actual milk.
Oat milk?
Yeah.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
like creamier than
yeah,
actual milk.
it's like really good. I stopped like drinking milk, and like I feel like now when I drink it, I can like taste
That legally allowed amount of mucus that's like okay to be in there, you know? And that just it just throws me off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Dairy makes my face break out, and I'm vain. So that's how I got on the vegan train.
My whole motivate like I stopped my family's not vegetarian or anything. Like I stopped eating meat when I was like 14. Yeah, I saw footage from like obviously from like where that shit comes from, and that was enough for me to be like, no more, goodbye. Like,
Yeah. That's definitely a big reason to Yeah, and then once you like take a selfie with a cow, it's hard to go back to eating.
once you just like hang out with a cow, man,
Yeah.
like they're just so fucking sweet. Like, and there's obviously lots of cows in Kansas, and I had like many interactions with them, and like once you interact with a being that way, you just like gain a respect for them, and like I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my stencil is not going anywhere.
Can I see how it's doing?
It's kind of long. I need to do shading, but like as you can see, there's this blue like blur behind it, which makes it hard to individualize. I need to touch up these lines and do shading on the cork and everything, and like shading like down here.
Wow. That
Okay.
looks amazing.
Thank you. I'm actually like kind of lacking a little bit right now. I feel I'm a little behind on it. Like
Okay.
my lines could be a lot more solid and touched up, but I'm gonna fix them real quick. Oh, there we go. That's a little better. How's your painting coming along? I'm not gonna like. I don't. How are you? It's a surprise. How are you supposed to answer that question?
Well, what always fascinates me is I'm like, this is the color? Okay, let's do it. Like, I learned very early in my painting career that if I try to plan anything, it never turns out well. So I just have to.
See, I have a really hard time pumping out flash, which is not good if you're a tattoo artist.
Pumping what?
So, design like a little sheet of tattoo art, like with all the designs on it. It's called flash.
Okay.
That's like it's called flash because back when tattooing was illegal, because it used to be illegal, and it was like done in the back of bars and everything.
Yeah.
Tattoo artists would draw like multiple designs on a sheet of paper, and it's something you could flash up and show people, and then like put away and like hide if like you needed to, if like the Fed, like if the cops come in, and so flash is like sheets of art that you tattoo on people, and all my best doodles come directly out of my asshole. In that, like I'll be doodling on like a napkin in the airport and it'll be like a masterpiece. But if I like sit down and I'm like, okay, time to draw some tattoos, it's like wham wham. It's like, yeah, so I totally get you there.
Yeah, like actually the way that I prepare if I'm trying to, like if someone wants a commission, then I'll, usually that's for music, a piece of music or an event or something, and I'll just immerse myself in that for at least 10 hours. But I don't think about, and like just soak up whatever that energy is. And then I don't think about like the colors or anything like that. And then I get to the canvas and I'm like, and it's like all.
That's such an awesome, process. I wish I could make tattoos like that. But
like it's so wild talking to other artists because, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, every artist has the same process, and then no, there's artists that are like more analytical and planned than accountants, you know.
Yeah. Mine is just, I think I'm trying to capture like whatever mood I'm in, whatever like vibe of tattoo I'm creating, like whether it be for a specific person or something. I'm always trying to capture an aesthetic or a vibe, and that usually is like nature, and like I've been very much like Cabinet of Curiosities recently. Like just like I love nature, but I kind of want to like add more like little spooky elements to it. Like I want to start doing tattoos that like would look like they'd be on like a witch's shelf or something. I don't know. Like that's just what makes me happy right now. Like that's the vibe. It wasn't always this way. I used to tattoo like back in my hometown. I would just tattoo whatever people came to me with. I didn't have like a set like preferred method of it. I really found like what I love to do after I moved here to Austin, because there were just people got cooler tattoos here, man. Like people have better taste than in my small town, and like I went to my freshman year of high school, and I had a teacher lecture the class on why climate change wasn't real and why the earth was flat. And when I tried to get taken out of the class, they couldn't do it. So I went on to online school, and then I cheated like through 2 years in a matter of like months and graduated early.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I graduated high school when I was 17 and then moved here, and that's how my high school career went.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh man, you're such a plethora of like a well of inspiration.
Man, my high school sucked. It was so bad. I think if there were better examples of education given to me, like if I went to school like in a place here in Austin, I think I probably would have pursued further education. Like my boyfriend goes to RISD, Rhode Island School of Design. Okay. I went up there to visit. I've gone up there to visit him like 2 times, I think. And that shit is so cool. What he's doing up there is so fucking cool. I'm so fucking proud of him. And everybody he goes to school with is also doing cool shit. It's just, he's majoring in painting, which is really awesome.
In what?
In painting.
Oh, dope.
And he went up there for photography originally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he totally like did a like 360. He just like, cause like when you go your first year, they like give you a bunch of like, you take a bunch of other classes to like kind of like dip your toes into other stuff and see what you like, and maybe like, you know, and he did. He's been majoring in painting, and he's been creating really beautiful shit, and I'm really proud of him. It's really awesome.
That's really cool. How long have y'all been together?
8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
And the thing is that
what?
we were before he left for. We're both Sagittariuses. Okay. And we don't like to talk about our feelings. And so before he left for college, we weren't together. We started using the boyfriend word like after he went to college, because it was when he left, and when it was all sad and we like cried and junkies, we were like, oh, there's something like going on here, and we should probably like acknowledge that. And so that's super funny. But yeah.
That's amazing. I love that though.
It's been really cool. And like long distance is cool because like if he was here all the time, I wouldn't get anything done.
Sure.
I like it that way actually. And he goes off to college. I do tattoos here. We both like work on our art, and then when he comes back, we get to like hang out with each other and like just chill out as like a treat. So it it works out super cool. Oh my god, are you done?
No.
Your face looks like
Like what?
it looked like I don't know. You look like I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I panic. Like, I'd say I have maybe a third of a canvas.
Oh, okay. That is very good for me
Okay.
because I'm.
And sometimes I'll get to a point and I'm like, what am I going to do with the rest of the space? And then like just have to have confidence in the fact that it'll be there when it's there, you know.
I like patchwork tattoos.
Okay.
And that's just when like you've probably seen cohesive sleeves where it's like a fully filled in space and it's much
sure.
more like a painting and not like the entire space is filled and it's all occupied with stuff. But like with patchwork, you just like get an idea, find a design, decide I like it. You put it next to one you already have to fill up the space well, and it just gradually builds off of each other, and you get this once you fully fill up a limb, it like looks really nice, and it's like but like it's a little awkward. Like right now I have this guy down here and this guy up here, and like these are building off each other so that it's spaced evenly, but like I'm super off balance right now, and like my upper body is like so weird because I need more tattoos, and that's why my boyfriend needs to step up and tattoo me.
So much of it is about balance, isn't it?
That's what my favorite tattoos are just like when I see people with like really just lovely placed, balanced tattoos, like double full patchwork sleeves. I'm like, yo, yes. It's just so satisfying to look at.
Yeah.
I am undecided about the fact that if I want face tattoos. I tattooed the inside of my boyfriend's ear.
Ear?
I put a spider web inside his ear. So
Whoa.
he hopes he loves me forever.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. But I definitely want ear tattoos. I don't know about face yet. If I do get a face tattoo, I think I'll want like a vine like coming down my sideburns. I think it would be cute or something like that.
Cute, yeah.
Like you have to think to yourself that like that tattoo would be really fulfilling to me and would bring me a lot of joy. So like if you're even considering that, I say go for it, honestly. I was actually meant to move to Austin like sooner, and then COVID happened and it like delayed it quite a bit. So
yeah. How much does tattooing take over your like mental space?
Oh, it's all I think about. Are you kidding? Yeah, like definitely. Like I'd say probably about like I'm always looking at other people's tattoos. I'm thinking about what tattoos people should get and wear. Like in what's the word? To their other tattoos, like in
relation.
In relation to their other tattoos.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and also like if I like am meeting a new person, like I'm more likely to remember like the tattoo on their left arm than their name right off the bat. Like, yeah, I'm always thinking about it, and my room is a tattoo studio. Like all my supplies are in there, and yeah, it's pretty. It occupies a pretty big space in my brain.
That's cool.
I like it that way.
Yeah.
I think it's good for what I do.
Yeah.
And also, my Instagram feed, all it is tattoos. Like my algorithm has me down.
Do you want to share your Instagram?
Oh yes, my Instagram is. I might change it at some point because it is I came up with it when I was so young and it's so silly. But it's all lowercase, no spaces. At anyone can buy a tattoo machine. It's a very long username compared to other Instagram usernames. Like that's like 5 words in a username.
But it makes it easy to remember.
It does, and like people like it. It always
Yeah.
makes people giggle, which I think is funny. I've had people try to tell me that that's probably not a very good username for business, because the whole reason, like, I wasn't always very like, and like I still have a lot of growing to do. Every artist does,
Right.
always. There's never a point where you don't have like improvements to be made and growing to do. But like there was a point where I had a lot of growing to do and a lot of improvements to be made, and my username was meant as a reminder that you're about to get a tattoo from a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And anyone can buy a tattoo machine, and you need to know that before you.
Yeah, before you make that commitment.
Yeah, literally.
So you said you're like into outdoorsy nature stuff.
Yes.
Do you have like a favorite outdoor space here in Austin?
Oh, well, the Greenbelt.
Okay.
It's all good. The trails out there. There's this, I think it's, what is it called? It's 360 Barton Loop or something. I
Uh-huh.
don't know the name of the exact trail. I could, like, I know where it is and I know how to get there. But, so yeah, it's like a 360 Barton Loop. I don't know, I'm very directionally challenged. I would try to describe what area it's in, but that would just not be right. But basically it's like this, it's this trail that, like, if you walk, it's like 15 miles of trails.
Wow.
And if you walk in enough, you can, like, walk all the way to Barton Springs, like the pool, and,
That's cool.
it's beautiful out there, and you can't, if you walk far enough, you can't hear those cars anymore, and it's just really, really nice,
Oh, that
and
is
I like it a lot. And people rock climb out there, which is really, I've been getting into rock climbing
Oh.
recently, not the outdoors. I don't know, there's lots of, the climbing community here in Austin is very large, lots of people like to rock climb. There's lots of good places to do it outside, and there's also a lot of climbing gyms, bouldering, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think everybody's so nice, everybody's like really
Yeah.
encouraging, and everybody like wants to tell you how to do it. It's really cool. Like I took a belaying lesson. Do you know what
Yes.
belaying is?
Yes.
I didn't, like 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome.
I took a belaying lesson at Messer, and the lady who taught me was just so sweet. She was so nice. It was like so fun, and yeah. So now I get to like, because when I was rope climbing, my boyfriend had to belay me, and I couldn't like return the favor, but now I'm
Right.
gonna get to, and we could like take turns belaying each other. So that's gonna be really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
Now I get to do the try to do some texture on the cork. That's really fun. I've never tattooed a cork before, so we'll see how this goes.
Are all your tattoos the same color?
I have one tattoo that's in color that I did when I was younger, and after that I was decided, yes, all my tattoos will be black. No more tattoos in color. I have this crappy, you can't even see it anymore. It looks like I scratched it into myself.
Oh, wow.
It was supposed to be red. It's an
Yeah.
anarchy sign. It's pink. I'm glad that it faded, because that's a stupid tattoo to get. And this Jake the dog from Adventure Time.
Yeah.
This was actually the first tattoo that my boyfriend did. I taught him how to do it, like right here, and like he did such a good job.
You did a great
I
job.
got it really high up because I was expecting it to be so shitty. But he, like, I was talking through it, and
It
he
looks
just,
so
he
good.
did this was his first machine tattoo, and he did
Oh my
like such an amazing job on it. And like he has his own Instagram now too. He is his tattoo Instagram is called Physical Graffiti, which I think is such a great username for like a tattoo account.
That is.
Yeah, just so many self-taught tattoo artists everywhere. It's so fun. It's great.
That is
But yeah, I just slapped that Jake the dog like right on top of the anarchy sign because I'm like,
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah, and because it was red.
And now it's pink.
Yeah, it almost looks like a scar. instead
No,
of a
people ask
tattoo.
me all the time. They're like, "Did you?"
So if you're ever down, like not feeling so great, what do you do to cheer yourself up?
I take magic mushrooms and I go on a hike. And that is what I do when I'm in a funk, when I'm not feeling good, when I have anything I'm having mental anguish over. I just like I take some shrooms and I go out into the woods and I just chill out with my thoughts and the bugs, And that's how I get over anything. And it always works. It always just trick.
That is amazing. That's fantastic.
What about you? What do you do?
Oh
to
my god, I
yourself?
have to do so many things. There's no just one thing. Like, there's things that I have to do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have to be active for at least an hour a day, but usually at least 3 hours a day. And then I meditate. I listen to binaural beats.
Oh well, yeah, but that's just a well kept mind right there.
Yeah,
That's good.
I like if I'm feeling really down, it's been like almost 250 days. I work on learning a new language.
Wow.
And like that will actually help me overcome like procrastination.
That's awesome.
So
You're neurotypical?
no.
Because I could never. I have like ADHD and I'm autistic as fuck, and like I've tried to learn a language. I've tried to learn several languages actually. I could just never commit to it. What languages do you know?
So I like have been studying Spanish since I was 8.
Wow.
And then
when you do it young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and then I studied it, of course, in high school and college. I did a little German in college, and I can still fairly much read a newspaper in German, but it's not one of the languages I practice. And then like this fall, I started to learn Italian.
That's so fun. Oh my god.
And then I'm currently learning the Japanese alphabets. Like there's like 3 Japanese alphabets.
Wow.
So I'm currently learning that one. So I try to do like at least 5 minutes of those 3 languages every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when I'm feeling really good, 20 minutes of all 3.
Yeah. I tried to learn sign language and I tried to learn Spanish. I could just never like commit to it for a long time. I'm just of someone who's like I can't even like I love tattoos. Tattooing is my life. I can't even like I have months where I'm like buckling down on it, doing it full time, and then I just have to take time to do other stuff for me to chill out, you know. But like, I tried learning Spanish and I was getting really into it. I was starting to retain stuff and like I could say some, but then we got into those masculine and feminine terms and that shit.
Please.
I was
So,
over it. I could
no.
not. I was like, nope, not learning Spanish
No.
anymore.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, like now, what's great because I am dyslexic and dysgraphic, and I had a real challenge of a time in school learning. And it was so hard. And now with like Duolingo.
Do you think your dyslexia and your dyspraxia helps you learn new languages?
I think.
Or is it something you have to overcome?
I think it actually. I mean, now that I know how to, like, I know when I get something wrong, I so often know, oh yeah, I just saw that backwards, or I just wrote that down backwards. But now that I don't have a grade, and it's just for me, like it's fun, and if I mess up, I don't care. You know.
See, the education system here in the U.S. at least ruins absolutely everything for us quirky individuals.
Yeah.
It makes it really hard to just like figure out what you want to pursue and like commit to it because
Yeah, like that was my whole life. I was an athlete growing up, and then after my athletic career was over, I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. And then I was just like, I'm going to pursue every single thing that comes my way.
It seems to be working out quite well for you, though.
Thank you. Well, I finally figured it out last year. I'm supposed to be doing this.
That's awesome.
So now, like, have you ever seen the show Parks and Rec?
Of course. My mom
So
is
like
obsessed with
Leslie
it.
Knope, who is just so like eager and excited about life and pursuing her thing. I was always like, I want to be that, but I just don't know what my thing is. So I pursued figuring out what my thing was with that excitement.
Hell yeah.
And I tried so many different things. It was amazing. I loved it. And so like, yeah, like had education been different, like my friends who have a European education.
That's what I'm saying. Here in the U.S., it's just, yeah. It's just so messed up.
Yeah. But I feel really lucky. Like I got to try a whole bunch of different professions and meet a whole bunch of different people. And, you know, life is strawberry jam.
That's awesome. I kind of I just found tattooing and I stuck with it. And at this point, I really don't think there's anything else I can do in life. Like tattooing is like it's the only thing that I've found to be fulfilling in that like real way. Like to give somebody a piece of art that like just makes them like happier to and more excited to like exist in their skin.
Yes.
The fulfillment I get out of that is like there's nothing that comes close to it. I've done tattoos that are like gender affirming for people, and it's insane
Oh my gosh, I just got chills.
be able to
Yeah, you're like a witness. What a blessing. I recently found two-stepping.
Two-stepping.
Yeah, like for dancing. It's like this country two-stepping dance.
Is it like line dancing?
No.
Okay, good.
It's like a dumber version of a waltz, I think.
Okay, cute.
It's just a really nice way to get social without having to talk a lot.
That's very sweet. I never danced before I moved to Austin.
Wow.
I didn't feel comfortable dancing in front of other people.
Oh man.
Just because I don't know how to do a specific type of dance, and like there wasn't any music that really brought that out in me.
Okay.
But the rave scene here in Austin is so insane. It's very, and there's so many things about the rave scene that I really like.
Okay.
Good raves.
Yeah.
Are like sporadic. Nobody's looking at anyone. They're in a dark room and it's like just really loud music, and like it's really good for autistic people because you can just stim in a crowd of people like very wildly without any judgment. In fact, people who are just like letting it out the most without any second thoughts about it, those are the lives of the party. Those are the people who are like the real ravers, you know? And I think that's just like so sweet and cool. So I felt very comfortable like kind of figuring out what I like to do along to music in that crowd.
Okay.
And, so that was sweet.
Oh yes, I've always been the person dancing to the beat of their own drum.
Interesting. I get a lot of offers. I went to one school dance when I lived in my hometown. I went to a homecoming. It was John Deere fantasy themed. You know those
wow.
You know how like all those school dances have like a little photo booth?
Yes.
Like where you take pictures to like remember the night or whatever?
Yes.
The little picture booth for John Deere fantasy homecoming was like a hay bale and a tractor in the gymnasium. It was
wow.
It was awful. It was so bad. Man, my hometown sucked, but my family's there and they're cool. They're the best part about my hometown.
Oh wow. Yeah.
What happened? The Austin High Tunnels. That's a place where you can go to rave sometimes. I haven't gone to a good rave there in a minute. Now it's more that the tunnels are more dominated by punk shows recently, but I went to several really good raves. At one time I went to a blood rave there, and we had giant buckets of fake blood and like those giant water guns that like you like stick in the water and like slurp up, and we also had like water bottles filled with like red food dye and water, and as you were raving you're just getting like sprayed with fake blood, and you're also like having like a little water bottle fight with fake blood. It was a really good time. That was a really good rave. The Electric Church is also one of my favorite places to go for raves. They have a lot of really good ones there. Body Mechanics is fun.
It's like that's like always a rave?
What do you cool. I'm sorry, what?
That's like always a rave?
What's always a rave?
Body Mechanics?
Body Mechanics, yeah. They I think they have 2 more this summer.
Okay.
They used to do it like almost every month, I think. But yeah, it's like a fetish attire encouraged
cool.
rave. It's very interesting, very fun time. Through Body Mechanic, I've met some of my like dearest, most interesting friends through that event. It's a very cool space. I will say they used to have this speaker system. It was this beautiful amalgamation of speakers, and you could feel it in your chest, like down the block, right? Best sound ever. That shit got stolen. Freak System got stolen. and it has broken my heart, and I can't stop thinking about it. Like it hasn't been the same since that's happened. But you know what? I was there for Freak System.
You got to experience.
And it's true. And there are people walking around on this earth who never will. And so I really don't have anything to complain about, honestly.
I say I got about 25% left, maybe a little less.
I think I have about 15% left for
Okay.
mine. So this is, we're making really good timing here. I was nervous to do this because people ask for time quotes
Okay.
when they get tattoos from me.
Yeah.
I'm autistic and time is a really stressful construct. And I don't
I get that.
I don't like to give time estimates because you never know how long a tattoo is going to take you, especially when you're self-taught, because places on the body are different, skin is different, and I really just like to go at my own pace. So I was a bit nervous, but no, timing has worked out really good for this tattoo and the painting and everything. It's like Jen's gonna finish their painting before I finish my tattoo.
Having a time. How did you phrase that? Having anxiety about time construct, is that a common symptom of autism?
I correlate it with my autism just because, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I think it's related to my autism in that, I don't perceive time very well.
Okay.
And that's more of an ADHD thing, honestly.
Okay.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
But where was I going with this? When I'm tattooing, I'm not thinking about how long it's taking me, so I really don't have a good idea of what any given tattoo, how long it's going to take.
Right.
People ask, and I'm like, I don't know how long this thing that I'm obsessed with that is my life. That thing that I do, I don't know how long it takes me to do that. So that's a little silly. I need to get better. I've been meaning to start timing myself, just starting a timer on my phone before I start a tattoo to see and get a better idea of that. I really should get on that soon, but.
Because I ask because that's something that I've struggled with a lot. Understanding the concept of time.
It's just so silly and goofy.
It really is. The only time I am spot on is when I'm outside and can see the sunshine.
Because that's what it is.
Because you actually see the time passing.
No, it's we are on a rock floating around a giant burning ball, and we've decided to measure this with numbers, and we're supposed to be on top of that all the time.
Do you have a favorite color?
Color isn't real. We are all hallucinating collectively. And it's literally color only exists because of these cones in our eyes that interpret light bouncing off of molecules in a particular way. And it isn't fucking real. It only exists to organisms here on Earth. And also, if you're a grown up, if you're a grown person having a favorite color, you can't. There's way too many to just pick one to have a favorite color. It's purple. I think it's
Oh my god, you just you're the best person I'm ever gonna interview.
That's so sweet. But what about, what's your favorite color?
Oh, I mean, yellow is definitely the color. When I'm in a store and I see anything yellow, I just have to go to it.
That is the capitalist overlord's subliminal messaging to get you to spend your money on things. It's true.
I'm always taking a shine to the color yellow, a specific color yellow, it's canary yellow, or the actual outside of a banana.
That's a solid favorite color. Yeah.
So I love that, and then I love a good lime green that you see that appears on tree leaves in nature when the sun is shining on it, that kind of lime green.
Yeah.
That's really silly. I'm a synesthete, so I
really.
Yeah.
No, you told me that your art makes sense because of that. Yeah.
So like that like lime green is like my silly equals silly.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
makes you giggle. That's
Yeah.
good.
But like I see, like there's a shade of purple that is just, no matter how else I try to frame it, it's just my personality, like the core of who I am.
Your aura.
And I don't know how to get rid of that. But but yeah, as a artist, like I never, like when I'm painting, I'm like, oh, I can't have a favorite color. But I do roll through that yellow and that green way more than any other color.
I see. I say purple because I do really like purple, but green.
Yeah.
I feel like green sparks the most joy in me. I do, but I feel like purple is just like, green isn't mysterious enough to be my favorite color. I feel like purple is just a little bit more whimsical. I think I'm done with my tattoo.
Okay. I've got
so.
one more thing here.
I might touch it up at a later time, but I don't want to overwork my skin.
I hear that.
It's looking really good though. I'm really happy with it. It's cute. It's true though.
Yeah.
Like if silly goofy stuff never went down on this planet and like earthlings never happened, there would be no one capable of perceiving color, or at least known to us. You know, there's definitely aliens somewhere, right? And there's
But like birds perceive color. That's why they're so colorful. That's
yeah,
like
exactly. But that's because they're earthlings and they have
Oh,
holes in
Earth.
their
I
eyes.
see. My bad. I was thinking Earthlings was just.
No, earthlings is every
Right.
organic consciousness that exists on this planet, right? And like so, like there's definitely aliens, but like if there are aliens, I don't know if they're capable. Like, why would they also be hallucinating? I think aliens probably communicate through like vibrations, because vibrations are much more tangible. They're much more real. In that, like,
Yeah.
color is a very specific thing to be able to perceive. Like, you need a very specific, fine-tuned, detailed mechanism in your eyeball to be able to like perceive it as a thing. Right?
Yes, you're making an excellent point.
Yeah, like
You really are. It's just like a bummer to me. There's so much of
Are you done?
I
Oh
am.
my goodness. Oh, it's so pretty.
So, you know what? I just realized I've never painted anyone who was colorblind. But you really made me rethink things.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I mean, you're beautiful. That's
Thank
why.
you. I think you captured me quite nicely. Gorgeous. Mhm.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for.
Thank you. Are you kidding? That's fucking awesome.
And let's see your.
Oh.
Oh my goodness! That is amazing.
Thank you.
That is so cool. That's amazing. Okay, let me get my phone.
been such a joy. That's one of my best paintings.
It's really fucking beautiful, dude. I don't know why. Ow.